What's up guys, Jivan back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about basically everything you should try to understand before the Placement Cup. This will be strategies that you may not have thought about before going into the tourney, but prepare yourself in any way you can. We're in a brand new meta and the tourneys start literally like the first week. So hopefully this helps you out. Please consider using code JivanTV if you've been liking the content. Without further ado, let's hop into it. First off, I just want to say if you guys have any info that I didn't include in this video but you think will be really helpful, drop it down in the comments. And if you guys see a comment that you think is helpful, like it up. That way the comment section is adding to this video's value. First thing I want to talk about is drop spot. Obviously there were a lot of changes on the map, so Ken and I are actually getting a new drop spot. Our old spot was built around the fact that grapples were in the game, but grapple meta is gone, so we decided to switch it up. And if you guys played based off your grapples before, you might want to switch it up too. You might not need to switch up your location, but give it some thought. The steps that Ken and I are taking for learning a new drop spot is first, we were exploring all the new places on the map. The first step is just to choose a location. It's that easy. It doesn't have to be that deep. Choose a location that you think you could master and you think has a lot of value. Just know obviously the better areas are going to be more contested, so make sure you choose wisely. So Ken and I are actually planning on dropping at Condo. So the first thing we did was choose a location. Second thing is figure out the best place to land there. You don't want to land too far apart, so land close together, but make sure you both have your own loot routes that you can follow. That way you're not stumbling over the same loot and you're looting efficiently. If you're landing at one of the new spots, make sure you learn every single chest location. Study that spot and make it feel like home so that you have full confidence there. After you get that off-spawn stuff down, you have to learn some of the new features around the map. First off, you got to learn where metal is. Not a new thing, but it's important. Figure out where metal is. And then figure out where you're going to get chrome splashes. I feel like a lot of duos are going to be carrying chrome splashes. It's like the only movement in the game right now, so if you're going to carry that, figure out where that is around you where you can rotate quickly to get it. Learn where the vaults are around you because you're probably going to get enough keys to open a vault off spawn. And then learn where the rotates are around you, whether it be launchers, geysers, balloons, rifts, even boats. Figure out all that stuff, and at that point you basically have off spawn figured out. Obviously, you need to learn how to fight off spawn too if that's something you plan on doing. So you can try to learn alpha points, areas where you can scout the other people that landed at your location, and ways to sneak up on them. Learn how to move throughout your POI. That just comes from playing a lot of arenas, scrims, and then tourneys. There's not much else to do. Some pros will host custom games where they battle another duo at their drop spot, just so they can learn their drop spot better. Oh yeah, and the last thing, I can't believe I forgot this. You could also get a drop map. So once you figure out exactly where you're landing at the POI, a certain location, a certain chest even, you can get a drop map built for that chest. There's tons of people on Twitter. You literally just search drop map maker. Try to pick one that's heavily vouched by the community. Okay, so moving into mid-game, something that Ken and I are doing is figuring out 3 to 4 plans for how to rotate from our POI, certain routes based on where the zone pulls. For example, let's say the zone pulls to the east. We build an exact route of how we want to rotate if it's going east. On this route, we can mark stuff like where we can get our brick, where we can get our wood, and where we can get surge. We build hypothetical loot paths that we follow for every single location. That way we have no hesitation in the mid game. We know exactly what the plan is and we're going that way. This is some of the things that pros do that really separate them from the more casual competitive players, or competitive players that don't have as much direction. Something you want to think about when building these paths to the zone is try to think where other people will be rotating around you. Look at the other locations on the map and think realistically oh, they might be going this way at this point in time, so if we want to avoid them, we're going to need to go to the right of them. You don't just want to draw a line to the zone. You want to think about how you can avoid people at different POIs so that you're not getting jumped by them. Or you can even plan to look into POIs to take shots at them and get some storm surge. Now literally once you finish all that stuff, the drop spot, the mid game rotates, you're basically set. And at that point you're just playing for end game. So let's talk about some of the new end game things that we're going to need to understand before going into the tourney. The biggest thing is chrome splashes, obviously. That's the only form of end game rotates, so you really only need to have one person carrying this because they can throw it down and hit you and your teammate. The biggest thing that you're going to need to lock into your head is that you can't just simply chrome and then go to zone. You're going to have to use it strategically, breaking line of sight so that you're not getting shot out of your chrome splashes on the way to the safe zone. There's going to be so many people holding you from the storm, trying to shoot out anybody in chrome and get free kills. So if you can learn to break line of sight, go through old builds, and really master switching layers while in the chrome ball, you can jump upwards and then jump out of your chrome ball and go even higher. Like you can jump up 2 or 3 layers. So if you're gonna use the chrome in endgame, it's really important that you master the mechanics of it to really get the most out of it. We also really got to learn how to rotate by foot again. If you used grapples last season, it's a whole different mindset. 1, you got to be scouting for early rotates and sprints. 2, you got to learn how to play off your opponents around you, like shooting them to get them to go, following their builds, stuff like that. There's going to be a learning curve for people that used grapple like me last season, but honestly, it shouldn't be as bad as last season trying to rotate by foot, because last season, everybody had grapples, so they would grapple ahead of you, and if you're rotating by foot, you're getting held by not only the people that pulled the zone, but also the people that grappled to the zone early. This season, it's not going to be as bad as that, I have a feeling. It should be a little bit easier to rotate by foot because, first off, people aren't going to be able to grapple to the zone. And second of all, a lot of people are going to be in their chrome balls rotating to the zone. So they won't be shooting at you. They're going to be chrome balling to the zone and not be a threat to you. We'll see how it plays out. This is all just speculation at the moment, but it's good to think about this stuff before the first tourney starts. And also, if you have time, test it out in scrims and really get a feel for it. Something that I feel like is going to be crazy is carrying boogie bombs in endgame. I just messaged Ken and said, like, one of us should be carrying chrome splashes and the other should be carrying boogie bombs. Because imagine you just see somebody in a chrome ball, you throw a boogie bomb at them, they're dancing around, they can't sprint, so you can sprint to them and catch up to them super fast if they're ahead of you. And then just full box them in metal, double pump them with your teammate, and you'll just have a free refresh, the freest refresh ever. As long as if you don't boogie yourself, it's going to work like a charm. So I'd say you should each carry 2 sets of heals, 2 guns, and then you have the choice of carrying harpoon, boogie bombs, or chrome splashes. Or if you're crazy with the sniper, you could carry that too. I feel like in a surge lobby where it's super stacked and everybody's peeking for surge, carrying a sniper will be crazy because people overpeak all the time and you could just quick headshot snipe them and get all your surge in one shot. But it's a little bit of a risky item to carry because you're giving up boogies, you're giving up harpoon, you're giving up chrome, like, you know, you pick and choose. If you don't care about any of that stuff and you want to carry like more white heals, that's obviously an option too. You can carry 12 splashes if you're in a splash location. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't know if you guys saw the format for the placement cup, but it's 65 total placement points for the win. So much placement. And only 1 point per kill. A lot of pros are still going to W key this because they just have no hesitation that they're going to win every single fight. But I feel like these games are going to be pretty stacked, so get ready. In round 2 of the placement cup, it is 2 points per kill, so it's a little bit closer to what it was last season. But I'm telling you, round 2 is going to be stacked. If you guys don't fully understand what you need to do in the placement cup, it's top 1400, make it to round 2. Round 2 is the same day, and if you get top 200, you're put into the elite division. And that means you can play all of the cash prize tournaments. And then I'm pretty sure you have to get top 1000 to get into the challengers division. If you don't get into the challengers division, you're in the contenders division. If you don't even make it to round 2 in the placement cup, you're still in contenders division. And basically throughout the season, you're just competing in that tournament, trying to work your way up the divisions until you get to elite. And that's where the cash prizes are. It's gonna be a fun season. They still haven't even said the prizes yet or anything like that, but it's gonna be exciting, bro. I hope this video helps get you guys on the right track. I'll be having tutorials such as a chrome splash mechanic tutorial coming to my channel tomorrow and lots of other stuff, so stay tuned. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.